السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet we'll be going over today will be Ishaq alayhi salam, who, as we all know, is the second son of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Not much is known about him through the Quran and the Sunnah, but from what little we do know, there are many important lessons that can be derived that we can apply to our lives today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in Surah Al-Hud of a time when Ibrahim alayhi salam was sitting and three angels in human form came to him, who were Jibreel, Israfil and Mika'il. And they said to him, Salam. He answered their salam and hastened to entertain them with a roasted calf. But when he saw their hands were not towards it, the meal, he felt some mistrust of them and conceived fear of them. They said, Fear not, we have been sent against the people of Lut. And his wife Sarah was standing there, and she laughed. But we gave her glad tidings of Ishaq and Yaqub. She said in astonishment, Woe unto me! Shall I bear a child while I am an old woman? And here is my husband, an old man. Verily, this is a strange thing. They said, Do you wonder at the decree of Allah? The mercy of Allah and His blessings be on you, O family of Ibrahim. Surely He, Allah, is all praiseworthy, all glorious. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in another ayah in Surah Al-Ankabut, And we gave Ibrahim Ishaq and Yaqub. Ishaq alayhi salam, he lived his life preaching the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just like the rest of the Anbiya. He spent his life preaching Tawheed to the people that he was living with. He spent his life raising Yaqub alayhi salam to be a prophet. When Ishaq alayhi salam reached an old age, he lost his eyesight. And once he passed away, alayhi salatu wasalam, he was buried next to his father Ibrahim. Now I want to draw our attention to that moment when the angels gave Ibrahim alayhi salam and his wife the glad tidings of a child at an old age, when people normally do not have children, an old age where it is not seen as the norm to have children, when they had given up hope, and not just of a child, but of righteous children, and of Anbiya who would come from their lineage. Ibrahim alayhi salam during his lifetime had made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to be granted righteous children. And while this was answered with Ismail alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not stop there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through His infinite mercy and wisdom, He granted Ibrahim alayhi salam another righteous child at his old age of over 100. And I want us all to remember this, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells us in the Quran, Udu'uni astajib lakum. Call upon me and I will respond to you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the all-wise, He is the all-knowing, and He always has our best interests at heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He may not answer our du'as right away, but we should not get discouraged and take that as a sign of, oh, He's not going to give it to us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can make anything happen, and He will give us, He has given us His promise to call upon Him and that He will answer us. So do not despair when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may not give you what you want right away, or He may give you something which does not align perfectly with what you had expected or your visions for what you wanted in your life. And to always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to increase in asking Him, especially in this blessed month of Ramadan. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is As-Sami'. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Mujib. He is the responding one, the answer of the prayers. He is As-Sami', the all-hearing. He hears all of our du'as, and He will grant us them when the time is right and when it is best for us. Ishaq alayhi salam was not only a prophet, but he was also a father to a prophet, just like Ibrahim alayhi salam was to him. What type of a man does it take to be able to do that? To raise a child on the haqq, raise a child on righteousness, raise a child on the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so he can be given the honor as well of being an Anbiya. I want us to remember a hadith where Abu Qatada reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, the best of what a man leaves behind are three: a righteous child who supplicates for him, ongoing charity, the reward of which reaches him, and knowledge that is acted upon after him. Imagine the goodness that came to Ishaq alayhi salam through the actions of his son Yaqub, and through even that after that, through Yaqub alayhi salam's son Yusuf alayhi salam. Imagine the hasanat that he got from their actions just because he taught them and he was the one who set them on that path of righteousness. I want us to take this moment in this blessed month of Ramadan to really think about what we're doing for our hereafter, what actions of ours are going to stay with us and to continue to benefit us in the grave. What sadaqah jariyah are we given? We should be using our time, right? We should teach knowledge, teach Quran if you can, whatever it may be. And so when we all have children, inshallah, to raise them on the righteousness and to raise them to be righteous so they can make dua for us after our time is up. Because when that time comes and we are in the grave, nothing in this life will benefit us except for these actions that we are told will continue to benefit us. These were a couple of the lessons I wanted to give from Ishaq alayhi salam's life. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to implement them and to continue to learn from the Anbiya. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.